Absolutely is a twig. Anyways, hey, what's up? Hello, friends and family of the Greyhawk channel. How are you all doing tonight? Welcome to, I'm pretty sure it's the third episode of The Grove Where We Met. I was going to say a different show. This is a Monday. This is a Monday show. It's a thing that we do here. We actually play Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition in the Greyhawk setting, but with a little twist because we've kind of kicked Earth aside and headed on over to the Feywild. We will do a quick round robin of who everybody is and who they're playing. Then we're going to jump into the sponsors. We'll do a little recap of what happened last time on the Grove Where We Met. And then we're going to jump right into things because we're kicking it off with a little spicy trap, really, is what we're going to start off that way.
Prank.
Or a prank, a goof, you might say. But Russ, welcome back. We'll start with you. Who are you, and who are you playing tonight?
Hi, I'm Russ. I use he/him pronouns. I'm playing. I actually don't know if I know my name yet, but I'm a wolf, and everyone's calling me Randy. So that's what I know for now.
I mean, that's true. That is all very, very true. In fact, when I was writing up something for tonight, I put down Randy instead of your character's name because you're Randy now. Like, that's just, you got named.
Until I get my memories back. If I get them back, maybe I'll just be Randy for the rest of the campaign.
You know what? I don't object to having a wolf boy druid in the campaign named Randy. Like, that's totally fine. But thanks. Welcome back. Super excited to have you. And PB, what's up?
Hi, I'm PP, and today I'm playing Tall because my real name doesn't matter right now. I use she, her pronouns, both of us do, and who am I? Oh my gosh, I'm an ASMR fighter. That's what I am. Got it. Remembered. Nailed it.
Totally 10 out of 10. That landing was perfect. Russian judges, though, gave you a 9.7. Better luck next time. Tara, hello. Who are you and what are you playing today?
I'm not muted. Well, I'm Tara. I use she, her pronouns. I'm playing Sinisa, who does remember her name. She is a half-drow ranger, and she has her little pet, who's not little at all. He's a boar, and his name is Santo.
Yes, Santo, who managed to finally charge once. It's great. That's how that works. And last but not least, though, Kika. Hello and welcome back. You're looking marvelous today.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Kika. I am playing the sorceress named Chrysanthemum, who does know her name.
And why does she know her name?
Because she drank some tea that made other people sick.
That is very true. We did have two characters who were able to successfully recall some of their memories, at least their names, but we still have two characters who do not recall anything, unfortunately, or fortunately, who knows. But before we get started tonight, I do want to give a special thanks to all of our sponsors, and first and foremost, though, all of the Patreon supporters and Twitch subscribers. Without your love and support, shows like this wouldn't really be able to continue. And of course, I hit a button and it takes me to a totally different page. It's fine. We're good. Just going to keep rolling. Also, another supporter of the show is Roll20. So if we use maps and dice rolls and stuff like that throughout the channel, Roll20 is typically what we end up using. All our games here are powered by Roll20, which is the world's leading virtual tabletop. And like I said, now the Greyhawk channel's officially supported by Roll20. So super awesome, and you can check them out for free at roll20.net. Next, big thank you goes to Heroic Maps, who is our official battle map sponsor. You can check out their library of more than 300 maps, which is insane. That is a poggers amount of maps over on Drive-Thru RPG. Just search for Heroic Maps. And also, we've got Tabletop Loot. Big thank you to them. You can go to tabletoploot.com and enter Greyhawk. That's with a capital G and a capital H in the coupon code box and get yourself 15% off of your dice order, which is hella awesome. They've got some pretty cool dice. Can definitely say I have spent too much money there. And again, just want to give another big shout out to all of the Patreon supporters and the Twitch subscribers who can receive a discount, or I should say a coupon code to RueInc.com, which is Devin Rue, the wonderful mistress of maps, and Cantrip Candles. Those codes are in the private section of our Discord. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and do a quick little recap and then jump back into the Feywild. So, last we left off, our adventurers had woken up in this strange grove in a land that they'd never been, an area that they'd never seen before, with trees and creatures that they've never really experienced before, with their memories completely wiped. They didn't know who they are. They didn't know who each other was. So they ended up walking through the woods, just trying to not stay in the same place, I guess, but were attacked by a group of giant weasels. Thankfully, though, a little old lady by the name of Tarova came to their rescue and scared away the majority of the encroaching weasels, and the party went and followed her, or more like she insisted that they come with her to her little toadstool home. This little gnomish old lady sent them on a quest to find several different ingredients to make a tea that would help them reclaim their memories. Unfortunately, though, after drinking this tea, only 2 of them were able to experience the almost euphoric feeling of recalling some of their best memories to them, including their identity, their name, who they are, what they can do, things that really kind of make a person a person. Unfortunately, though, 2 others didn't make it. One, in fact, Russ, the player who returns to us today, his character was so forgetful of who he was and what he could do, he spontaneously shifted into a wolf with large floppy ears. This wolf was adopted by the party and named Randy. Fitting for the Feywild. It's just how things go here. And he attempted to drink the tea and did not enjoy it. It didn't seem to have any effect on him. And then there was Tall, who also drank the tea, and although she didn't have the same sickening impact that Randy had to experience, she did not remember who she was either. Wanting to uncover their memories even further, the party was sent deep into the woods to the name of the place, the Hollow Point, something Hollow, the Harbinger Hollow. I have notes. Definitely did those. Hollow Point, something Hollow, Hartmont Hollow. I was close. I knew it was an H. So they had headed out that way, where the trees were so tall and there was virtually no grass on the ground because the canopy was so dense that it was blocking out any sunlight from touching the ground. While wandering there, they were attacked by a creature known as a choker, this blackened skull-like creature with disgustingly long arms and massive claws on both its feet and its legs, and a skull-like face with a spine that just protruded from its back, attempted to kill them, and they were able to successfully take it out. Mostly unscathed, though a couple party members did take a couple licks here and there. Now, after the combat, the party encountered Briaris, who was the creature of the woods that Tarova had told them to go meet with. she could potentially help them gain their memories back. And she did offer to do so, but in exchange, the party needed to bring her the heart of a cursed creature, one that lives deep, deep, deep in the woods, where the party would follow the tracks, which were a scratch mark against the bark of the trees that were blackened. And eventually they did find what they assumed to be the home of this cursed creature, which is kind of built from the structure of fallen trees. There's a stove cooking on a small little fire out in the front of the home. There is a door. There's a little window. I believe that Chris peeked on the inside to see just this very little shanty but comfortable hovel, a place that you would maybe expect like a gnome creature to reside in. And as a precaution, the rest of the party stayed back a couple yards while Chrysanthemum strung together a little tripwire in front of the door. And I believe you knocked, and we ended with you knocking. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So, Russ, you're all caught up now?
I am all caught up now.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was a great
This was for you.
summary.
So, Chris, you knock on the door.
And then I run
And
away.
you run
because
away.
I was supposed to run away after.
Correct. So you wait a couple moments. You don't really hear or see anything. Nothing seems to happen. But finally, the door kind of creaks open. The wood kind of straining, as it's more of just like a big chunk of bark that was wedged in place and isn't really hinged to anything per se. And this man looks around, goes to take a step out. Ooh. And steps over the tripwire, seemingly not noticing it, and just kind of looks around. He is mostly naked. There is a small leather like skirt wrapped around him. There are claw and bones dangling around his neck in the form of jewelry. And he has a couple tattoos painted across his face rather ornately and up and down his arms and very heavily around his hands and his chest. He is very dark skinned. He has long dreaded hair, and he just kind of looks around. Hello?
What do you think we should do, Randy?
So how does this man smell? Like, does he smell dangerous, like blood or anything?
Ooh, go ahead and roll me a perception check and do it at advantage because you're in wolf form.
That is with my bonuses, because I don't have that up because I'm smart. That's gonna be a 14.
Okay, so you don't get the scent of blood. In fact, since you're particularly trying to sniff out this man, he smells very earthy, very, very musty, definitely like undertones of what you would expect, like moss and certain woods, but also kind of somewhat pleasant. There's almost like even a hint of like cinnamon to the man's scent.
So he smells like the forest, basically, but with like other overarching scents.
Correct.
So with that, I think that Randy just like saunters out of the bushes
Oh no, Randy.
and just like runs up in front of the man and just like wags his tail and just sits on the ground.
Okay. So this man, he stands about maybe 6'2". Very, very thick arms, thick legs, kind of a rotund belly though. And he like squats down and gets really close to you and puts out his hand for a moment, like right in front of your face.
I sniff his hand.
Okay. And then he just has this big smile, and he reaches that big hand, and just starts petting you and scratching roughly behind your neck and, behind the ear. Just kind of like coddling you as if he would an animal companion, a dog.
He is just so happy to be scratched. He got a short nap, and now he's getting scratched. This is great.
Oh, you are a good boy. And he just kind of keeps like scratching at you now with like both hands. And as he's doing so, though, he never looks up. He's looking at you, keeping his attention on you. But this good boy is too clean. Who's your owner? Who's your master? You could come out. I would not hurt you.
I will slowly come out. Chris will, so the others can stay hidden.
Okay.
Seeing Chris come out of the bushes, Randy gets up and like runs over to Chris and just sort of like stands right next to her.
Okay. So he'll
And she will give him pats on the head.
just all the pets. Welcome to Dungeons and Doggos. This is going to be an episode where we just pet the PC wolf all day long, and it's so good. It's super therapeutic. You should really try it.
I am the best doggo.
So this man, he stands up and kind of like dusts off his hand and brushes off his knees, and he looks over to you. You're pretty deep in these woods. Do you need help? Are you lost?
We're supposed to find something that's cursed.
There are many cursed things here.
Well, a cursed thing that curses other things by like scratching and biting them.
Let me guess. Briareus sent you.
I think so.
What did she ask from you this time? More importantly, what did she promise you this time?
She promised to give me some memories that I lost in exchange for a heart. I don't know if she meant a literal heart or a metaphorical heart, though.
No, she means a literal heart, and she wants mine.
That's rude.
That's what I keep trying to tell her, but she keeps sending lost souls to me. And I'm still here. So.
But did you cause this part of the woods to go all dead, bad?
He shakes his head and kind of scratches behind his neck. I may be cursed, but I am not the one you should fear. The disease, this is not my doing.
I want to roll insight.
Okay, please do.
Okay, that's a 15.
Okay. He seems to be a very charismatic fella, and seemingly is telling the truth. He is admitting to being cursed, but is sincere that he is not the creature you should fear.
Okay, if you're cursed, can we make you not cursed somehow?
I've already accepted my fate. I appreciate the gesture, lost one, but there's no reason to cure me. I'm not broken.
But what's causing the trouble in the woods?
How about you and your friends come inside? We can talk.
Me and my dog?
And your other friends. And he kind of like nods over to where the others are kind of like hiding behind a tree.
Chris casts dancing lights to make the form of a person walking out of the tree, out from behind the tree, and walks over to her.
Randy starts chasing the lights and trying to pin them down.
You have a good pet there. But no, seriously, your friends can come out. I know they're there. Come on. And so he turns his back to you all, and heads into the home. Oh boy, oh boy, oh! And as he does so, that was a nat 1. You just see this big hulking man just fall. His foot gets snagged under the tripwire, which snaps from the sheer unexpected weight of him, and he just takes a tumble, reaches out for the door, and just rips it down with him.
You broke my rope.
Did you lose something?
Yes, my rope, and you just broke it.
My apologies.
Do you know how hard it is to get a rope out here?
I'll replace it. He says
Randy
through
runs-
somewhat like gritted teeth.
Randy runs over to try and help him up, sort of like yanking on his like sash to try and help him up off the ground.
And he just like pets your head. You're not helping, but he gets up and he
Of course.
kind of shifts the door and wedges it kind of back into place. What's everybody else doing?
Sinisa's gonna step out, stay a little further back, and keep Santo with her.
Mm-hmm.
She also is trying desperately to not laugh out loud. As she makes her way over towards the door, she's not going to go inside, however.
Okay.
She's going to stay by the door frame.
Okay.
I definitely am like walking out like head held high, whatever, as he's like, you know, you walk whatever. But the moment he just face plants, I can't. And I just like double over laughing. And it's like I keep trying to like get my composure, and I start laughing again. And it's really hard for me to walk over because I'm laughing too much, but I try my best. But I can't even try to hold it. Like I try to hold it in, and then it just comes out again. You know, it's a whole thing.
Fair enough. So, for those of you who do enter into this person's home, there is there's not really like a table. There's just like a big stone and a couple of toadstools that have grown around it, seemingly like places where you can sit. The area that would look like a bed, and this is just one big open area. The bed is nothing more than some foliage from the forest floor with a bunch of different types of pelts and furs, pretty crudely taken care of. This is clearly not a man who was a leathersmith, but it works for his needs and his purposes. There are also just different like trinkets and items all over the walls, things that look that would resemble like art, paintings, some little statues that are either carved from wood or from bone, from teeth, things of that nature. Again, there was the pot that was outside. There are a couple wooden carved out bowls and cups, and he kind of like starts grabbing a couple and setting them down on the table. Can I get you anything? When's the last time that you had a good meal?
When was the last time I had a good meal?
Well, it wasn't all that good, but it was a meal. That beef mushroom stuff.
Oh,
I like that stuff.
Do you?
Chris is going to put the daisy chain she made last episode on Randy's head.
So cute. At some point, I'm gonna have you roll to figure out when you'll shift, because it has been way longer than you should normally be.
I'm assuming that this is sort of like
it's
reverberations from the Feywild.
It's a Fey thing, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's how we're justifying it. Total Fey magic going on here.
First, we need to know what your name is.
My name is Su Yin. What are your names?
I forgot.
Did you all forget? Is this why you are trying to take my heart?
Well, we're trying to get our memories, and then we were asked to take your heart.
She proved that she could give us back our memories. I don't understand really why she wants your heart, though. That's you seem fine.
Are you sure it's not your metaphorical heart?
No. Briaris wants me dead.
Sighs so heavy. I'm sorry. Sinisa just sighs so heavy right now. And then she turns away and she puts her back more on the front of the house and just kind of crosses her ankles and stands there trying to compose herself again.
You can come in. I'm not gonna hurt you yet.
I don't. Oh,
Yet?
thanks for being honest about that, sir. Good right here. Can hear you just fine.
Fair enough.
Where's Santo?
He's with me outside, probably a little bit closer to the forest line, though.
Okay.
I have
Randy's gonna
another
run
question.
over and try and say hi to his friend.
The two of them are just like, you hear like, wolf cackles and pig snorts. It's like cute. It's the next internet viral video.
So Mr. Sudian, in what way are you cursed, and why?
That's certainly some deep questions that you ask, but for honesty's sake, because I am still an honest man, I played dangerously in a land that I should not have walked through, and I received this, and he kind of like shows some scarring across his shoulder. I was bit by a bear.
Was it like a werewolf, but a werewolf bear?
Yes, you would call it a werebear. Are you from this
Oh.
area? You seem to have deep ties to the Fae.
No, I just read a lot of books. I played in the forest a lot too.
I see. So, in that sense, yes, I'm cursed. But it's given me longevity, health, the ability to connect better with the world around me. I would not consider it a curse.
Then what is making these cursed things in the forest?
That would be the Void Sages.
I don't know what those are, but they sound bad.
They're very bad. You see, Briaris, what remains of her heart died long ago in exchange for power. And it is she who condemns the breath of these woods to the Void Sages. She's allowed them to perform dark rituals that are literally infecting the trees around us, taking the life from the creatures who live within, spreading this disease that is siphoning their life energy from it.
Sinisa looks over her shoulder and into the doorway. Look, I don't know much about this place, but that lady's half tree, if not full tree. Why, in anybody's name, would she allow some random shit like that to happen?
Dryads can be selfish when given the opportunity for power. Some will take it. She did.
If you know this is all happening, why haven't you stopped it?
I might be powerful now, but I'm not that powerful.
What if you come with us and help us stop it? That way it stops and she stops wanting your heart.
What makes you think that you can stop her?
Won't know unless I try. And I don't feel like shacking up in a shack in the middle of a forest for the rest of my life, honestly.
It's good land out here. It's quiet.
sure enough, and everybody, each their own, but I gotta try something. And it's either helping a heartless tree lady or helping a cursed man stop a disease. So
Maybe we'll find the tree lady's heart.
we could find the tree lady's heart.
If you can find it, let me know, because pretty sure that's gone. She sold that.
Her literal heart or her metaphorical heart?
I'd say both. Dryads are tricky creatures. Have you not encountered them before?
We encountered one before, and we told you about it.
Look, I don't mean to speed up this process, but you said you haven't heard us yet, and I'm still kind of wondering where you're standing on this whole thing about fighting us or trying to kill us, turn us.
I would assume that if he turns into a bear, then he would likely attack us.
Probably. I'm just wondering, can you not and help instead, since you're sort of offering help?
I'm offering you the opportunity to walk away from here with your lives. Again, Briaris has sent many, many creatures here to try to take my heart. Some go home, some don't. So unless you want to tango, I'd prefer not to, but it's your funeral. There's a whole pile out back. I'll just return you to the forest.
I only know how to waltz.
I'm not familiar. What is a waltz?
It's a kind of dance. Do you want me to teach you?
Perhaps another time. I think we're still trying to decide if we're going to remain pleasant or not.
Do I look like the kind of person that does fighting?
You look pretty fey to me, so no. But
how do I look fey? I'm a human.
Many humans are connected to the Fae. Is this your first? I don't know why I'm asking questions. You probably don't know much anymore.
Nope.
What have I told you? That I can help you reclaim memories.
I mean, that's all we want.
Do we have to go find some herbs for you? Do we have to go find a dryad's heart for you? What's your price?
No cost. And he starts kind of like shuffling around and reaches up to like this just wooden shelf, which is just a hunk of wood like shoved in between wherever it could fit essentially. And he takes out a little satchel and kind of opens it up. This. Take a walk in the woods. You'll be able to find many things here. Maybe find some memories that you forgot you even forgot.
I mean, if we knew what we forgot, then we would know it.
This can show you much more than forgotten memories.
Are you giving us drugs?
I wouldn't call them drugs.
That's what a lot of people who have drugs say.
It'll help unlock your memories. It's up to you. I can keep the area safe for you, keep watch while you go through this.
Maybe we should do it one at a time for safety.
I can agree with that. If you actually want to try it.
Well, I have tiny noodle arms, so I should do it because I will be the least useful in a fight.
Okay.
Totally true, but go ahead.
And he'll start preparing he uses like just a thin slice of excuse me, of wood and starts rolling it up after having stuffed it with some of the dried goods that are in, and he'll offer it out to you.
Are you trying to get me to start smoking?
You do have to inhale. These mushrooms are pretty potent, though I wouldn't recommend ingesting them.
She takes it and says, I'm going to do this outside where my friends are.
That's fair.
And she just walks outside, sits down on the ground, and tries it out.
Okay. What's everybody else doing right now? Just briefly.
Sanisa's going to keep an eye on Su Yin the whole time.
I'm looking around at the forest, making sure that we're fine.
Okay.
At this point, I have convinced Santo that there might be food in the house, so we're trying to perform a heist to get whatever food we can.
Yes. Oh, roll me. Are you trying to sneakily do it?
Of course, we don't want to get caught. We know we're not supposed to be eating the food of the humans, but...
All right, go ahead and roll some stealth checks. Tara, roll in for Santo, please.
That was a 21.
Ooh.
I got a +4 for wolf stealth.
Wolves.
Also, Joey?
Yes.
Do I have to roll a wild magic surge when I do magic drugs?
No, you will not have to roll the wild magic surge.
3rd level fireball focused on yourself.
Well, actually, I had rolled you cast fly on a random creature within 60 feet of you.
I could have flown as a wolf.
You could have flown, but we didn't need it.
Santo's an 18.
Santo's an 18. Okay, so you two are you're kind of heisting away. You are looking for any bits of stuff that may have fallen on the floor. Those are the easy goods, but you can smell that there's this chunk of dried meat, just like a big maybe elk leg that is hidden somewhere, and you're trying to find it, and is pretty heavily wrapped up. So that's where your noses are kind of heading towards. In the meantime, though, Chrysanthemum, you close your eyes as you inhale and cough because you're not sure quite how to probably do this. But Suyin is right next to you, kind of guiding you through it. You can hear his soothing voice. He actually just takes a seat and is just kind of watching you smoke this. Very defenseless to the others who are watching. And his soothing voice kind of helps guide you into this almost dreamlike state. And for a moment, the world around you gets fuzzy, gets very hazy, and eventually fades to white. And you blink your eyes, making it black. And when you open them, you find yourself surrounded in another woods. It's not the area that you've been before. It's not this particular wooded area. In fact, it feels much more comfortable. Perhaps you had explored here as a child, and as you look down at yourself, you are in fact a child. What are you doing?
I'm lost right now in the woods, and I am looking around trying to get bearings of where I am, but I am too afraid to just turn around and head back the way I came.
Okay. In your youth, when you used to run through the forest, were there any landmarks that you particularly remember? Any places that you would go to, whether it was a twisted, winding tree that just seemed like straight out of a fairy tale, or a rock figure that looked like an animal, something of that nature?
There were two trees that fell into each other and formed almost like a natural archway.
Mm. Okay. So you hear a little fluttering in the trees around you, and you notice a black bird that is carrying something in its mouth, and it kind of hops to another tree and waits for you.
I cock my head and slowly walk towards it
Okay.
and look up at it.
It'll fly over to another tree, and then another, and wait for you, as if it's beckoning you to follow.
Oh, I'd probably start like running with my little child legs to follow after.
Okay. And eventually, as you start running after this bird, the bird just starts flying alongside you, and leading you to where you remember as a child, to these two fallen trees. And it flies up to the top of kind of where they connect, and just sits there and looks at you. What are you doing?
I'm going to check my pockets to see if there's any food I can give it.
Okay. Yeah, if you want there to be food in their pocket, you could have maybe like some stale day-old bread.
I think I have some nuts.
Okay.
And she takes the nuts out and like reaches up on her tippy toes to like try to pour them in a knot in the tree so the bird can get them.
Okay. So the bird sets down the little sprigs of whatever was in its mouth up at the top, and kind of hops over to the little nook where you had dropped some of the nuts, and it just starts pecking at it and eating it, and eventually looks to you and says, "Thank you, friend."
But who taught you English?
I don't know this English, but we are speaking Sylvan.
Sylvan. I don't remember learning that. Did you teach me Sylvan?
No, I think your mother taught you Sylvan.
I don't know.
What are you doing here?
I was lost, but you guided me to someplace where I know is, so I can find my way home now.
Well, you can't go home just yet.
Why not?
Because you are needed.
But my parents are gonna worry.
They may. But they won't be alive to worry if you don't help.
Are you threatening my parents?
No. I am not threatening your parents. But the world is being threatened. We will all die.
I don't think I can fight the entire world.
But you can.
How? It's so big.
The world is very big. But look at me. I'm very small. And I can still do a lot of cool things. Look at this. And he just kind of like flies up, and there's this like rush of wind that kind of wraps around. And what you're noticing, though, is the trees around you that were lush with green, as if it had been like summertime, slowly start to decay and are almost like they're catching fire with these browns and bright red and yellow leaves now that kind of swirl around the crow. And eventually everything settles in a pile kind of in front of you.
Oh, that's pretty cool. How did you do that? Can I do that?
Well, not yet. But maybe one day.
What's your name, bird?
My name is Wenta.
Wenta. That's an odd name for a bird. What kind of bird are you?
Well, I could be any bird, to be fair. But I am the mighty crow today.
I am very fond of crows.
I know. That's why I picked this form.
But can you be like a condor?
Sure.
And like that wind picks up and the leaves swirl around, and as they descend, there is now a condor in its place.
Can you be a hummingbird?
Yes.
Again, the same process, and you now have this very brightly fiery colored hummingbird.
That's amazing. Do you
Yeah,
want to come home
that's
with
great.
me?
Well, I can't really come home with you right now, but again, I need your help. We need your help. The world needs your help.
Is it because I have thumbs?
Thumbs will help you, yes.
Okay, then I'm ready.
You're not ready yet, but I can help you get ready. Here, hang on.
And he's like flitters back up to where he had originally perched and grabs hold of these sprigs of barley and hops, and he's like trying to pick him up but not quite able to.
You can turn back into a crow if you want.
Thank you.
And like again, the swirling of the leaves, and the crow returns once more, and will come back down to you and drop this sprig of barley and hops into your hands. And as you hold them and kind of look at them, they eventually disappear. They glisten with this like very soft brown and white and yellow energy, and it seeps into your hands, and you can feel your hands kind of getting cool to the touch, but a cool in the way that the autumn breeze would cool down workers in a field after a long day of harvest. It's very comforting. It's warming, despite it being a cooler air. And you'll notice that on either of your forearms, you now have an outline of barley and an outline of hops that radiate with this orange, yellowish light, and it eventually disappears.
I don't think I'm allowed to get tattoos.
Well, you're allowed here. How about that?
I'll take it.
I knew I picked the right one. So, when you wake up, I need you and your friends to find the doorway fig. You must protect it.
From what?
Not from what? Not from what?
From who? Dun dun dun.
and the crow kind of cants its head a bit, and it looks down. It looks almost defeated, and it kind of hops back a bit before kicking up into the air, and it just starts flying around the tree. Again, that gust of wind comes, bringing the leaves, this time though all around the tree, and the two uh, the the two trees. Just gonna keep using the word tree. That had collided together from your childhood memory. They, as the leaves fade from it, it is now this much more robust tree, as if it were one once more. It is not terribly tall, but it is wide, and it has these large roots that stick out from the ground and kind of weave in and out of the forest floor. The leaves on it are massive, and the branches just kind of drape over everything. And it is very much colored like an autumn tree. So again, you have the reds and the purples and the yellows. It is beautiful. And the crow is no longer there, though. Instead, you hear within the whispers of the wind,
You must protect the tree.
and that wind comes once more. You feel this breeze kind of against you, and the leaves shift and push up against your face. And as you close your eyes to kind of get away from it, you wake up, and you are currently sitting on the floor with Su Yin.
I checked to see if I was drooling.
Were you drooling?
Probably.
Hang on 1 second. Bye, Felicia. Not gonna have that in chat today. Absolutely not.
I need to talk to Randy in private.
Of course. Are you feeling okay though? Any headache, nausea?
7.
I'll give you some time.
She
And he just
gets
kind
up.
of sits there. Yeah.
She gets up and goes outside and beckons for Randy. Randy, I need to talk to you.
Randy's not outside. Randy is inside, hunting for that elk leg.
I need someone to tell about this.
I'm right there because I was watching Suya, and I just come over and are you okay?
Private chat behind that tree.
Oh, okay. I'll go with you.
Yeah, Chris just like runs behind the tree, and when you catch up, she's like, okay, so that was crazy, but I need to find and protect some sort of fig doorway that's in a tree.
Oh, okay. You need to protect a fig doorway in a tree.
I think so. And a bird gave me tattoos.
You didn't go anywhere, hon. You were sitting there. You didn't get tattoos.
It was like it felt like a memory.
I was gonna say, did you get a memory out of any of this? You're talking about doorways and trees now, and tattoos.
Either I got a memory or I was really high.
This place seems to be getting us really high lately.
Yeah, I don't like it.
You look okay though. Are you feeling sick at all?
I'm okay. And then she checks her forearms.
And I look at her forearms too. Any tattoo remnants or anything?
Mm-hmm. They're very light. It looks more like really faded henna, I would say. Like it's more of a stain.
Sunisa tries, like she goes to touch you, but then she pulls back and is it okay if I touch?
I don't know. The bird gave me these.
She's gonna take that as it's okay. So she reaches out really slowly and just pats like the hop tattoo real quick. Does it hurt?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you went on a magic vision thing You need to protect the doorway, got tattoos. Did he say what kind of tree it was? Where the tree was?
I saw the tree.
Okay. Have you seen it before? Do you know where it is?
I don't think it was. I think you'd understand if you did some of the drugs.
Did he say why you needed to protect the tree?
To save the world.
To save the world. Okay, you got high off your ass is what happened, is what I'm thinking. Okay.
It could be both.
You do have tattoos.
Yeah.
But you didn't get a memory. Just okay. All right.
Well, it might have been a memory.
Maybe. Okay. Let's go see if Tall wants to go next. I don't know what to do here.
Maybe Randy wants to go.
I don't even know where that wolf went. Where did that wolf go? Okay. Let's go see what the others want to do then.
Okay.
Got to protect the world and find a tree. I just
Yep.
wanted a memory. Okay, let's go. Sinisa's going to walk back, and on her way back, she's going to pass by Tall. And I don't want to keep walking in front of you here. Tall, would you like to go next? Maybe get a memory?
Maybe get a cool tattoo.
Possibly get a cool tattoo. But maybe a memory. Memories are what we're going for.
Maybe both.
I am assuming it worked then.
You'll understand once you try it.
Well, you seem to be okay.
She seems fine.
I guess I will go next. I would check on your wolf and your boar. I have not seen them in a while.
Son of a bitch. Sinisa's gonna do, I can't do it myself, but she's gonna do one of those high-pitched whistles.
Yeah, please don't do it. I need you and Russ to go ahead and roll for our little heist. Beep 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 beep. Do like sleight of hand checks.
Cool.
Or like sleight of hand check.
Did you get a nat 20?
Natural 20. Which is a 22.
12.
Okay. One nose was a little bit better, and the tusks were just kind of getting in the way of trying to drag this item out from under a couple things. Excuse me. And so Santo doesn't come to you when being called, because right now Santo and Randy have definitely gotten through the hide and are enjoying a feast of all feasts in the corner of this room on this dried elk leg.
He's a loud boy. Can I hear him?
Oh yeah, now that they have the meat, they're not being quiet.
No.
It was just getting the meat that was the quiet part. Because once they've started, no one's gonna say, "Hey, stop that! I still need to eat that."
Hearing this, she's gonna go in there and do exactly that, though. And she like slaps the side of her thigh and like, Santo! Gets really angry with him.
Randy Henrietta Randallson.
Brandy's holding the rest of the leg in his mouth and just like slowly opens it and it falls to the ground. And he just lays down and gives big puppy dog eyes.
You need to ask that person if you can have that.
Santo, I told you can't go foraging around in people's homes. Rude.
Don't say that to me. Say that to him. That's his.
He's gonna pick up the leg and take it to the man. And just
Who's
place
sitting,
it on.
He's sitting outside waiting for the next person to come, and the wolf comes. Yeah.
with the elk leg, and he's gonna put it on his lap, and then just lay down in front of him with the sad look on his face. Just go,
She just quietly reaches out and like pats the head, hands the big boned elk meat back. Go on.
tail is waggling. He grabs it and runs off.
And you just see Santo darting out now, like almost pushing past Sinisa, because he can't just have it by himself. Like, that's not fair. And the two of them kind of run off and start playing and eating with the leg.
I'm sorry, I'm still training him.
It's not your fault. Sinks is gonna go back outside to make sure Tal's okay during all of this as well.
Okay. So, Tall. What
You
do
ready to do some drugs?
Born ready.
And Suyin kind of offers you to sit down in front of him. He sets up another roll and hands it over to you.
I take it and I look at it. I give it a smell.
Doesn't smell great.
I mean, does it ever? And then I take it and I just go for it.
Okay. So again, much like Chris, the world kind of shifts, becomes very hazy, so much that it becomes blindingly white. You close your eyes, you find the blackness, and then when you open them, you're laying in a field. It is humid outside, the sun is setting, but it is fiery in the background, incredibly large. And there are very tall reeds that are just kind of swaying with this gentle summer breeze. And that's where you're currently going to wake up in.
As soon as like I get my bearings, I'm immediately up on my feet and like quickly scoping out the area, making sure there's nothing dangerous nearby.
Okay. There doesn't appear to be anything around you. Again, you're kind of just surrounded by these tall reeds in a pretty open field. Now, explain to me, knowing where your family comes from, what was home like? What was the area that you used to grow up like?
Really nice. Everything was very nice. If I were to describe it in one way, it would be like the D&D equivalent of like a high-end middle class area. It was all very clean, all very organized. We had elements of the world, of nature, like trees that were very well kept, bushes and flowers and everything incorporated into the building style. And but it was very, I guess it wasn't like a city, but it was like a very large town, and it was surrounded by forests, and a very large lake nearby.
Okay. So you're standing up now, kind of looking around, and as you start moving in any direction, eventually you kind of feel your boot kind of step into some mud, and as you look down, you realize that if you were to step a couple feet further, there is an opening where there's a large body of water. And this water looks familiar. It feels familiar. It feels like where you used to play with your brother when you were young. Maybe you would go fishing there, or maybe you would just push him in, or he would push you in. Whatever kids liked to do around lakes. I don't know. I never grew up at a lake, and I don't know what the fuck you do with a lake. So there you go. You kind of raise an arm to brush away some sweat. It's humid out. It is not very comfortable right now, even with the sun setting. And as you're kind of staring out at this lake, recalling some of your family, really, you hear a very gentle whisper. Rental. Rental?
And do I know, can I hear where the voice is coming from?
If it seems like it's coming up from behind you.
I immediately turn around to see
Mm-hmm.
if I can see the voice.
Mm-hmm. What does your aunt look like?
She was a tall, as far as I know, is a tall, stoic woman. She has beautiful bronze skin, long, dark brown hair, those stoic, extremely kind eyes, a lot of wear on her body from just life and the battle she's been in.
Mm-hmm. So that's who you see, and you recognize her. You know exactly who this woman is, and she just kind of smiles at you. Hello, Rental. Now, it doesn't sound like your aunt, but it certainly looks like your aunt.
And so immediately I'm filled with just this warmth of, oh my gosh. And then it hits me that it doesn't sound like her,
Mm-hmm.
despite it looking like her. Even if it has been a while, I recognize her voice anywhere. And so I go from like this more open stance to a very closed stance, almost ready to throw down if I have to. And I'm like, who are you?
I am Sotilion.
That's a name.
Yeah, that's a name. Probably not pronouncing it right. Dear Greyhawk friends, I apologize.
Leon. All right, that's my best try. Go ahead.
How are you? You seem to be lost.
That is one word for it, I would say.
Do you know where you're at? And
No.
the more that you look around, like every time you move your head and then move to look back, it's almost like the world is shifting, as if that haze that was kind of there, cast down from the setting sun, is lifting as the darkness kind of starts coming over, and it looks so familiar. It looks like home. It feels like home.
It feels like a place I once knew.
It's the place that made you who you are. Who you were.
Yes, and who was that?
Well, I know that you feel as though you have fallen. And when she says that, you're hit again with another rush of memories from a time where your family betrayed so many people. But you are not fallen. It is time to stand back up, to be tall once more, to be proud again. You are needed, child of mine, and I cannot have you doubting your ability. The sins of your family are not yours to bear. And she kind of steps closer to you and rests a hand on your cheek. Again, your aunt is holding your face, gingerly, no threat. Can you find that strength again?
But it was so many people.
And it will be more if you do not stand back up.
What do you want from me?
I need you to protect the doorway fig.
The doorway fig? I don't know what that is.
It is a special place to me and my family. My sisters and brother, we used to meet there so long ago. And it is in danger.
Who are they? Where do I find them in this door?
And she places her other hand against your face. So she's cupping your face right now. And you can feel how hot it is. Her hands almost feel like they are searing into your flesh for a moment. And then when she releases your face, as the sun continues to set, the cool breeze kind of pushes away that heat. And there is now, as you feel this, that heat and the cooling kind of brush down, it almost feels like whatever she had done to you is surging down through your arms until they reach your hands. And there is a bright orange marking. Each fist now has the shape of a wing on either hand. And that burning sensation eventually dissipates, and the bright light emitting from this winged tattoo fades. This will help you, but you must protect the doorway fig. I cannot show you where it is. It is a journey you and your new family must embark upon.
Could I at least get the direction?
I can show you what it looks like. And as another gust of wind kind of comes and the tall grass sways, her body kind of just erupts into a brilliant display of flower petals, of wildflowers just swirling throughout this wind. And they make this huge kind of tunnel until eventually falling down as if they were raining. And before you now is a large tree, again, a very thick bark with roots that dig and weave in and out of the ground. These massive, massive leaves that are just a brilliant green, vibrant, more vibrant than you've ever seen before. And you hear in the wind, "Child of summer, please. Your world, this world, and many other worlds will depend on you standing back on both feet." And as you nod and you close your eyes, when you open them again, Suyin is sitting in front of you.
Um. Thank you for that.
Feeling okay?
Yeah. Yes. I'm just gonna go and get the next person.
Oh, okay. There's some water inside if you need.
I'm already up and gone.
Okay.
And I do go generally in the direction that I assume Sinisa and Chris are. And I guess maybe Randy, I don't know, he ran off with a bow, and who knows where he is, honestly. Let's be real here. Um hiding his shame probably. And I take a second where I'm alone, or at least out of the sight of other people, and I like raise up one of my sleeves to see if that's marking, that tattoo is still there.
And it is.
Well then, I guess I am Rental. And I go over to Sinisa and Chris, wherever you guys are at the moment.
Sinisa was waiting by the house. She kind of just watched you get up and go, figuring you needed a moment. She was watching everything to make sure that Su Yin didn't try anything stupid.
As you got up to walk away, Chris was following right behind you very quietly.
And I don't notice at all. I'm a little frazzled at the moment. And so when I turn around and see you, I'm like, oh, that's what you guys are.
Did you get a tattoo?
Yes, I did, and I know now about the door. I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Them and I was spoken to by Sotion. Sotilion. That makes more sense.
Sotillion. Sotillion.
I met a bird named Wendy or something.
I met someone named Sotilion.
Oh. I don't know them.
Neither do I know them. I was gonna say neither do I, but do I know them?
Go ahead and Chris and Renta, roll me a history check.
History.
All right, as long as it's.
I got a 5.
I got an 11.
Okay. Yeah, Chris, it just escapes you. You weren't really studied up on certain deities. Maybe they just weren't very popular in your area. But Renta, you recall the name of Centillion. Just butcher it all game. And it's you know it, and you can't tell if it's because of your memory loss or that you just genuinely can't quite remember the relevance of that particular name. But you know that the symbol is somewhat important.
Wait, the symbol?
Mm-hmm. When you look at the markings that you had of the wings, and when you look at Chris's markings as well, they look like maybe god crests, symbols that are often used by others to represent gods.
Maybe if we touch our tattoos together, it'll do something.
I mean, might as well. But they do seem like I can't do the other one. My mic's in the way. And they do seem like the crest of gods, I think. Did anything happen when we touched her tattoos?
You touched.
No. Oh, well, it was a good try. I think they are a crest of gods. I think maybe Sotilion and Wendy, whatever, is our gods.
I should probably learn their name then.
Probably would be wise. Maybe they'll send you a card or something, so you don't.
That would be fun.
You said it was a crow, a bird.
A bird, yeah, a bird that could turn into other birds.
Oh, that's a quite talented bird then.
Yeah,
Maybe they will visit and tell you their name again.
I hope so.
Wenta.
What? Where? What?
You hear a crow somewhere deep in the woods.
Oh, that was it. Wenta. Thank you.
Oh, that reminds me. I guess I was not too off on guessing my own name. I am Rental.
Can I keep calling you Tall for short?
Yes. I think I would prefer it.
Nice. Let's have Randy go next.
What would Randy remember?
I don't know.
They are but a simple wolf.
But Randy's part of the team.
I don't know. Where is he anyways? Where did they go?
At this point, Randy and Santo have now finished the bone, and Randy is holding the bone, the femur, and Santo's holding the tibia. And we walk up to Suyin, and we place them next to him, or at least I place mine like on him to sort of like emphasize that he should put it on his necklace.
Nothing goes
And
to
then I
waste
sit down.
here. He gives you a pat and goes ahead and pets Santo and kind of has to like pry the bone a little bit. Like, there we go. You're a wild one, aren't you?
And then he curls up for a nap.
Yeah.
No, Randy, it's your turn.
Huh?
Look, if we're gonna do drugs, all of us are gonna do drugs.
Oh, at least let the poor thing take a nap. It just ate its weight in elk.
I'm
Better time to do them then. He won't get hungry.
I'm not gonna make a wolf smoke.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
No, Randy's cool enough to smoke.
Oh.
Is he even of age? Like, how old is Randy? Randy? Oh, this poor pup. Just go up to you and let's go. Oh, who's a good dog? Who's a good Randy?
Roll me. Gosh.
A D20 and see if I stop being a wolf.
just a straight D20.
God,
See
I
how
hope
this
he's
Fey
a wolf.
magic.
That's a 6.
So, as Tall is petting you, you start to shift. What does it look like?
So last time no one saw me shift, but this time it's almost like it's like he begins to glow a bunch, and then there's like a snap, like a loud snap, and he's just himself sitting on the ground.
Randy was a werewolf the whole time.
Wait, what?
His name wasn't Randy. His name was Audrey. Oh, I think his name was
You don't know
Audrey.
my name yet. I don't
Okay.
even know my name yet.
He was the. Oh, this is where you went. You giant.
Wait, what do you mean?
fireball.
I've been here the entire time.
You were
What a
a
dog.
wolf, Randy.
Wait,
So now you have to do
Wait.
drugs.
I might make this all less confusing if you do not remember.
I'm confused.
It's your turn to do drugs with Randy.
I mean, my parents told me I should never do drugs.
But the
Well-
rest of us are doing it.
These are good
Actually, I
drugs.
don't remember my parents. Never mind.
Just do it.
I have a feeling that I'm not supposed to be doing drugs though.
But these are the ones that will help you remember and gain a life's purpose.
Yes, the rest of your peer group does it. Don't you want to be cool within your peer group?
I look at Santo and say, will you do drugs too with me, Santo?" I say that in Sylvan.
He absolutely will not. She says it in common.
You don't understand Sylvan, do you?
I do.
You do? Dang.
Yep.
Oh gosh, how many of us speak Sylvan? Everyone raise your hand if you speak Sylvan.
So I guess that means I'm doing drugs then?
Yep.
Gotta. If you don't wanna, you don't have to. Nobody's forcing nobody to do nothing.
Do it. Do it.
Just
Do
like
it.
the-
What?
He like looks over to this man who he has placed the bone on. And he says, "I guess you should make me some drugs."
Now, Randy, you might remember your name if you do the drugs, and that way I won't have to call you Randy Henrietta Randallson anymore.
Okay. Why Henrietta?
It was the first middle name I thought of.
Okay. Is that your middle name?
No.
All right. So drugs?
And Suyin hands you some rolled up bark.
How will this affect me knowing that I've been a wolf for the past long time?
Only been a few hours.
I've been a bear for many years. I'm fine.
Do you do this a lot? You just go around giving drugs to like strangers all the time?
He just kind of laughs and just does a little stretch, just waiting for you to smoke.
All right. And he smokes it.
All right. So again, the same effect takes over your vision. The haze, the blinding white, the blinking of the eyes. And when you snap yours open, your head hurts. And you reach up and you can feel a wetness, a warm wetness to the back of your head. And when you look at your hand, there is blood.
Oh, well, that's not good. I'm gonna look around and see where I am.
Okay. It is nighttime and very cool out, but you are surrounded by a forest. One, again, much like the others, is very comforting. There might even be some trees that are familiar to you, maybe places that you can recall, like little hollowed out trees that you maybe used to play in or had set up like a little fort almost. And as you are kind of wandering around, the air continues to cool.
So because it's dark out, he is panicking.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's getting more and more like panicked.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna find the nearest tree hollow he can sort of hide in.
Mm-hmm.
And try and see if like maybe he can make some light or something.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, there's a big one not too far away. You can certainly fit inside of it, even in your large form. You kind of like hide in this place, and it's warm. It's a little more protected from the outside elements. And as you stare out, there is just the faintest glimmer of daylight kind of peeking out from the horizon, but not enough to really give you enough light. So as you're kind of huddled in this area inside the tree, there is a little green glow that kind of starts moving closer to you and closer and closer until it peers its head to the side of the...
Wait. Shh. It's okay.
Is it okay?
It is very
And
okay.
at this point, there are like tears streaming down his cheeks.
And this creature, this forest sprite, very, very familiar to you, though very masculine presenting, kind of reaches out for you with its small hand and touches at one of your tears, and it kind of dries up, more like it was frozen though in place, and you can feel that little trail of coal creeping up towards your eyes, and then he just kind of brushes the dust away.
Who are you?
Names. This one. Okay, cool. I remember this one.
I am Telkur.
And what am I doing here? It was morning. Why is it dark all of a sudden?
Why were you a wolf for like 30 hours?
I don't know. I don't know why I was a wolf. I don't know anything that's going on.
I know. You're
Scared.
a bit young, but this'll have to do. So, you, Audrey.
Yes. Is that me?
and the sprite kind of like chuckles a bit.
Technically him, Audrey, but your family prefers to call you Audrey. You prefer to be called Audrey.
Okay. What is this place? Could you make it a little brighter at least?
Oh, of course.
And he kind of like claps his hands together and blows a bunch of like snowy like powder, and these little specks of just like white kind of glisten as they start latching on to some of the insides of the tree, and as it falls down eventually too, even you are somewhat illuminated in this little bit of light, and it's a dim light, but it is enough for you to see properly inside the trunk of a tree.
So when that happens, he sort of begins to relax a bit,
Mhm.
and he like loosens the grip he had around his own knees, like sitting on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, okay, so my name's Audrey. I have a family. What's going on here? You said that I'll do for what?
Ooh, well, how about we go to a place that's a little more comfortable?
And he reaches out and touches your forehead. And I'd like you to explain a childhood place that brought you a lot of comfort.
So it's funny because it's very similar to this place.
Mm-hmm.
It's a forest, one that's pretty big that he and his sisters used to run through. But it's morning. It's beautiful and bright, and you can hear the birds singing in the distance. And he is currently running around as a squirrel, playing hide and seek with his sister.
Okay. So when you go to open your eyes, as this memory is kind of thrust back upon you, you are currently a squirrel, and there is a glowing green squirrel that is kind of running alongside next to you up a tree.
Is this better?
Yeah, this is a lot better.
Good, because you're going to want to feel very comfortable with what I am about to tell you.
Okay, now I'm less comfortable.
There are...
What's going on?
You understand good and evil, right? You're not
Yeah.
that young.
There are people who are bad in the world, and there are people who are good. Yeah, I know that.
Well, what if I told you that there is a very, very bad thing that could be freed very soon, and that you and your new family must stop this?
Me.
Yes, you. I know.
But I'm no hero. I'm no greater good. I'm not like any of the people I've heard about in the legends and the stories.
Where do you think those legends all started from?
Well, with noble beginnings and powers granted from beyond the realm and incredible artifacts and whatever.
What if I bestowed upon you not so noble, but very good Audrey? What if I bestowed upon you a power to help take down this greater evil? And you could be the hero.
But how do I know if I'm doing the right thing? I'm scared of the dark, man. I can't do anything.
So
Heroes aren't scared of the dark. They're brave. They run into situations head on.
the as you're kind of like pleading this almost, the air again is very chill and glistening from just the crack of dawn. You can see the light from the sun cast against large snowflakes that are beginning to fall. And the squirrel hands kind of reach out to you and touches you in the chest. And you feel this cold energy surging through your body as it kind of almost, again, radiates down your arms and into the center of your palms. And as you look down at your hands, because they feel so cold that they're so hot, there is each on either hand a tree branch with a single leaf remaining, as if it had been the beginning of winter and no more leaves were left. And you have that marking now glowing in a whitish blue energy that eventually kind of fades.
This is...
He
Go ahead.
he looks at Telker and says, "But what is all of this?" And he looks at the snow and says, "It never used to snow where I was from."
You are so innocent, which is going to be your strong suit in this. You need to keep everyone else as innocent as possible. You need to keep yourself remembering what it means to be good. This force of evil will consume. It will spread its evilness throughout your home, through your friend's home, through...
You hear that too, right, babe? Okay, sorry. It's torrential
Okay.
downpouring. Like, what the fuck is that?
I was just like, that's a really dramatic pause.
It's a very dramatic pause. Good God. Knocking on wood that it won't knock out our internet.
You are so good with your nature. It is the balance that is needed to take on, rather, to protect the doorway fig, the dooryard fig. I'm going to keep fucking that up. This is a very special place where my siblings and I would unite. And there we trapped one of the greatest evils all worlds have ever seen. He is already leaving his mark in the material plane. And he
Does he
threatens
have a-
here now.
Does he have a name?
I will not speak that name.
How do we stop him?
With your gifts, with your hearts, with
But-
good.
But why
Just
can't
good.
you all stop him?
We cannot go back there. They have... Something prevents us. We must take mortals to aid us. And you have been chosen.
And with that, the snow starts falling even more. And the wind, you know, just kind of howling, starts blowing against you and blowing against the green squirrel, who is now being blown away in little bits of snow that swirl around the tree that you are currently in. The branch that you were sitting on starts growing large and large and large, and you are just in this whirlwind of a snowstorm for a moment until all of the snow calmly starts falling. And this tree, once again, large, a large trunk, roots that weave in and out of the ground. There are no leaves on this tree. It is covered in snow. Some of the branches are even beautifully covered in ice.
Find this tree, the dooryard fig, and let nothing escape from it.
And you close your eyes, and you open them again. And Suyin is sitting in front of you.
How's he feeling? Like, does he have that same headache? Like, is he bleeding still?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
But the
We
first
can't
thing
say
he does is
you're in a
check.
squirrel shape. You're a squirrel.
I'm a squirrel.
You're a squirrel.
I'm a squirrel.
You're a squirrel. You can still rub your head.
A squirrel pats his head. Do I know how to use my abilities yet?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Alright, so then he's going to leave squirrel form and just sit there and be like, I'm not bleeding like I thought I was, but I got these now. And he holds up the tree branches with a single leaf.
And you got tattoos too.
Actually, it's Audrey.
Okay, Randy.
Please don't call me Randy.
Reggie?
Audrey.
I don't know if it'll catch on.
I mean, I really hope it does. It is my name, apparently.
We'll see.
I guess that leaves you.
Sinisa looks over to Suyin and goes, so is this your party trick? Everybody gets free tattoos from whatever they smoke?
I mean, you see whatever you see. Supposed to help with memory.
Okay,
Maybe a
but
little more.
all those tattoos on your body, is that from this?
No. An old woodsman gave those to me.
She's gonna call Santo over to her,
Okay. And he comes.
and she kneels down with him and goes, "I'm gonna need you to stick with me, okay, buddy? I don't like this."
He just kind of like headbutts you.
And she scritches behind his ears and over, roughly through his mane, and goes ahead and takes her little trip.
All right. So, Sinisa, again, you inhale, your vision blurry, cloudy, until it's so blinding bright that you blink to close your eyes. And when you open them, you're in a town. Some of the buildings seem pretty familiar. There's certainly woods off to the side, but this feels very familiar, although there are no people. It's quiet, eerily quiet, and you are alone. There is no Santo. What are you doing?
She kicks at the dirt floor or dirt road and kind of peeks around before she starts walking forward. Just being very perceptive of everything around her right now.
Okay. As you're kind of walking through, you could hear the cries of children. Not that they are crying, but almost as if they're ridiculing something or someone.
She'll pick up speed and start heading that direction.
Okay. So you kind of wander towards where the voices are in this little courtyard that opened up from an alleyway between some of the houses. Excuse me. And you see a couple of children who are throwing stones at a creature that is cornered.
Hey, stop that. And she immediately rushes over and grabs the first kid.
Mm-hmm. As you reach out for them, they're incorporeal. Your fingers go right through them and kind of makes this image fade, shimmer until it disappears. And you hear giggling from all of the other children as they too eventually disappear. And in front of you, kind of tucked in a corner, is a boar that looks exactly like Santo.
She'll immediately go to him, and even though everybody else disappeared, she's still going to reach out and try to touch him.
And the boar kind of sits up and lets you pet it. Kind of ruffles itself out, shimmies down its spine a bit.
Mm-hmm. And the kids were throwing stones at the boar.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to gently check over him and, "Are you okay, little boy?" Or little boy, little one.
Now let's go with this one. Yes, of course. Thanks to you.
Was not expecting you to talk. All right. What are we doing here? Because this is not exactly how I remember this, although I remember a little bit of it.
Well, I'm very glad that you are recalling some of your memories, because they may come in handy for the adventure you are about to take part of. I apologize. This is not typically the form I like to present myself in, nor the circumstances in which I communicate with mortals. Do you understand?
Yeah, and by all means, you don't have to look like my pig.
Is there a form you would prefer?
Is there a form you'd prefer? I'm only half believing that this is happening right now, so
I suppose. And they... Oh, I closed that document up, damn it. They shift forms. The dust and dirt from the ground, along with some like seeds, almost like daffodil type seeds, kind of like start fluttering around the form of the boar. And when they all fade and drop to the floor, there is a very tall woman standing in front of you. Is
all
this
right.
better?
Sure. And who might you be?
My name is Atroa. I am the bringer of spring, the maker of life.
All right. Well, I've had 3 other friends go through this, so doorway, fig tree.
Dooryard fig, yes. I appreciate your courtness. There's very little time, so I'm glad that we see almost eye to eye. You're very important. I'm sure as my sisters and brother have reached out to their children, so must I reach out to you.
Look, I don't mean to be raining on anybody's parade, but you just had to get some kids drugged up to figure out where the hell they are so you could tell us that we're special. And all we really want to do is get our memories back so we can go home. Did y'all bring us here just for this?
No. No, we didn't. Unfortunately, though, we cannot be present in the Feywild. We are gravely needed right now in Greyhawk. Please understand this. If we had the choice, we would not be sending a mortal to do this job, but we cannot set foot in the Feywild right now.
Why are we here? How did we get here?
We brought you. The Feywild is full of holes and riddles and little portals that connect the material plane and the shadow realm together. We adjusted them and brought you through. Your friend may have touched something or eaten something or fell asleep somewhere. That's how they got here. We made sure of it.
So, can you enlighten me a little bit, since apparently I'm special? Maybe want to just tell me a little bit about where I'm from?
Sure. Why don't you tell me a little bit about where you're from? Pick a good memory.
One of her best memories is being in the shop with her aunt, tanning leather and just spending the night going over everything that they need to do. And it was probably the most serene time that she's had.
Okay. So you recall this, and Atroa doesn't even open her mouth. Literally just lets the memory kind of take over this particular time and space. Is that better? I can help you with more, but we need to be quick.
Who's the lady keeps showing up in my vision, but I don't understand. She doesn't look a damn thing like me. I'm obviously not human, and I sure as hell don't have red hair. But whenever she talks to me, it's just to say my name, and I don't really understand.
Unfortunately, we do not have the time to discuss this. The end of the world is literally going to come if you do not complete this task. Once you do, I promise you, I will return and answer any question you ask.
So how do we get to the tree?
You must head north. Follow where the plague has already destroyed. The more destruction you see, the more blackness and cold, the closer you are to where the dooryard fig is. But you must use caution. There are agents of this darkness whom my siblings and I have trapped within the dooryard fig. And they are incredibly powerful, gaining power every day by leeching the life essence from this realm. Should they amass too much power, sorry, the fucking grain again. The chains we bestowed by using the tree will no longer be able to hold him. And if he is freed, we will all cease to exist. I cannot stress enough how deadly this creature is.
How do we keep the tree containing him?
Help reverse some of the plague, some of the disease, stop it from spreading. Return power back to the forest, to the grove.
And that's not by killing the werebear and giving his heart to the dryad?
I know nothing of a werebear.
All right, perfect.
Trivial matters.
How we... Look, I'm a hunter and I have a boar. How do you want me to stop a plague?
And she reaches out and grabs hold of your hands. And again, much like everybody else, you feel this burning sensation running up your arms. This time, though, instead of like everybody else, where it's spread away from the body, your burning sensation moves to your chest. And there is now an outline of a heart with a symbol that is commonly known to be an air elemental symbol, right in between, and it radiates underneath your clothing and under your armor, almost kind of like protruding from like the neckline, and eventually, though, that fades, that burning sensation fades away, and the glowing dims until all that is left is just this, faded, inked outline of the symbol. You and your friends are very special and have been given gifts. Again, I ask, do you understand? This is very grave. We are in an incredibly dire position.
Yeah, I understand. Doesn't mean I like it.
We don't like it either. We'd much rather just take care of these matters ourselves, but we're currently being prevented.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Head north and use caution. Watch the shadows. Beware of the agents of dark. They care little for life. Treasure those here who do.
Okay.
And again, there's this soft breeze that comes. The foliage from the ground that had been kind of creeping through some of the stone structures, some of the little gardens that were in the area. All of these greens and seeds start kind of swirling into the air, and as her tall body disappears, in place is now this large tree. Again, wide trunk, roots that have broken through the ground, weaving in and out of the stone at this point from your urban location. And instead of large leaves or no leaves at all, this visage of the tree comes in these beautiful pink and white blossom flowers. And some of them just fall as if it was snowing. And
Can I catch one?
as you attempt to reach out for one, you think that you touch it, but you're immediately blinded by a bright light. And Suyin is sitting in front of you.
You are not a blossom tree.
So all of you, so Tilion, Rental, please mark on your character sheet. You are able to use and cast the spell Burning Hands twice per long rest as an action, with no usage of a spell slot. Everybody's will essentially be an action twice per long rest, no spell slot consumption. Telcor, so Audrey, you mark down Ice Knife.
Hey,
Hey!
that's a spell I got prepared already.
Hey, guess what? Wake up tomorrow and don't prepare it. That's the best thing about druids. Wenta, Autumn, so Chris, you now can mark down that you have Earth Tremor. Again, twice per long rest, one action does. Instead, though, for your spell, it does 2d6 damage instead of 1d6. Wanted to amp it up a bit in comparison to the others. Again, no spell slot needed to cast. And Atroa, Spring, Sanisa, you get Thunder Wave. Again, twice per long rest, one action to cast, no spell slot needed. I saw your post about the non-binary bike. Santo is totally a non-binary bicon. I'm all for it. I'm game. So Sanisa, you are now out of your trance. What you doing? What are you all doing?
Santo's still with me?
Mm-hmm. Santo has not left your side.
I'm just going to pet him for a few minutes.
So,
how many people come out of this and think that they need to save the world?
you?
Perfect. Beautiful.
This is just supposed to shake some memories. I mean, did you remember that you had to save the world?
No. I was told that I have to do the things.
Well, I mean, the Feywild can do all sorts of stuff to
Okay. But my question is, how reliable are these drugs? I don't want to go trussing off into the forest to something that doesn't exist because your wild ass herbs told me to do it.
Hey, I don't know what to tell you. Normally I do this like once a week. Just to
Have you ever
remember
heard
things.
of someone Telker?
Telker.
It's like a symbol of like a tree branch with a single leaf remaining.
Sanisa and Audrey, go ahead and you both roll your history checks.
Yep.
$14.
2 without modifiers. So with a modifier, 2.
Perfect. You recall
Everything.
Not a damn thing. You just
Cool.
probably was not taught to you, not common to the region that you were in. They could have gone by other names. Just not something
Think
that you're
your
really
name
familiar
might
with.
be Randy now?
I was too busy being a squirrel.
That's very true. The animal life. Sinisa though with a 14, yeah, you're actually pretty certain that after hearing the name Telkur and Wenta and Sotilion and Detroa, that these are the 4 gods of the seasons.
This is bullshit. This is absolutely bullshit. I don't believe a damn thing that's happening. She stands up and she starts walking towards the forest and taps her leg for Santo to come and follow her.
And Santo like eyes the bone that Suyin's been holding. And he just hands Santo the bone, and Santo then comes trotting over to you with his big femur in his mouth.
It's not safe to go off alone.
Should we follow? Should we give her some time?
She's not going to go fully into the forest. She's just going to go lean up against a tree and pout, basically.
Like, how long should we wait before we go over and try to speak to her?
We
Well-
should make dinner so when she comes back, she'll have something to eat.
That's good.
How about I'll go hunting with Tall, you said, right?
Oh, yes.
Because someone may have finished the elk that would have been here for us to eat.
Someone, yes. I can imagine.
Randy.
Maybe we call
And-
you Audrey, but when you become a wolf, we call them Randy.
Okay, that's fine by me. But when he's saying this, his like ears are very much down and sheepish. Like he is not happy that he did that. And he's trying to avoid eye contact with Suyin because he doesn't want to like get judged.
It's like an alter ego. It is fine.
Chris,
Yes,
try
so-
scratching behind Audrey's ears.
Please don't do that. Don't. No.
You liked it when you were Randy.
Yeah, but I'm not a wolf anymore. I don't have the same instincts going on right now.
I don't know. I've never met a wolf before that likes being pet by humans.
Well,
Yeah, are actually kind of common.
Really?
Yes,
I
we-
was always told that they just eat people.
Oh no, they're very kind. Those are very interesting dynamics, actually. Sometimes kinder than people.
at this point, Audrey doesn't know what to say because it feels like all of these conversations are at him. So he's just going to start leaving and going into the forest to start hunting for food.
Oh no,
Good
don't
luck.
alone. Don't. You will be okay here, right, Chris?
And
I have
then
to
there
go
were
take care of
two.
the big person.
No, bye.
Catch up to Audrey. You know, you have nothing to be afraid of
What do you mean?
as a wolf. It is perfectly natural to be a shifter.
I mean, I didn't even know I was a shifter until 30 seconds ago.
Well, you are one with the land, are you not?
I guess that's what my memories are saying, that I've been able to do this for quite a while. In fact, if I'm remembering correctly, nature protects me sometimes.
Well, nature protects who it serves. So that sounds about right.
No, but this is different. This is like I feel spirits of the land come protect me when I need them the most.
I mean, I believe you. It sounds a little bit ridiculous, but I believe you.
Yeah, it does sound ridiculous.
But we are in a ridiculous place. We all landed somewhere where we had no memories. We just smoked some random mushrooms and
And now
Suddenly,
I have tattoos.
yes, you do have tattoos.
You know, I really thought that my first tattoos would be different than this.
Oh, really? Had you planned on getting tattoos?
Not really, but if I was, I don't think I'd get a branch with a single leaf.
Why
I
not?
was thinking maybe something more, I don't know, flowery. I like flowers, they're cute.
Oh, well, maybe you can add on to the tattoo. Maybe if there's a branch that is just growing.
So, what are we hunting for? I want to hunt for food.
Okay. Whatever is around. That's whatever is around. Was there anything? Why did we not bring the ranger? You know what? It's fine. I'm a fighter. I'll fine. Figure out a way. I'll find something out.
DM, you're supposed to come in here and tell us what to do.
Oh, no.
So we're not just talking about tattoos for the next hour.
No. Hello, please roleplay with each other. I will never intrude upon actual communication until it starts getting silly. This was adorable. This was great. So while you two are talking and then realizing that you should have been with the ranger to hunt.
But she's being broody and pouty, and she needs time. We couldn't bring her with us.
And she's mean when she's pouty. Actually, she's mean normally. This is like the worst type of mean.
Oh my gosh.
And Audrey's a little scared of her.
Yeah, that's fair.
Santo, not so much. Santo's a precious little baby.
Yeah, they bros. So yeah, Sanisa and Chris, what are each of you up to?
Brooding like a meanie.
I made a fire.
All right. So are you with Suyin then?
I guess.
Okay.
Probably talking to him without him responding like at all.
Probably like just talking. I mean, you have a whole bunch of new memories that kind of came back, so you have something to talk about. And Suyin is just like,
Chris is like, so
Sure.
these aren't my first tattoos. I actually had another tattoo. It is of a flower, and it's right here, and you can see it.
And he kind of like quickly takes a little side eye look at it. And he's like, "That's a nice tattoo."
Thanks.
You
I've always had it for as long as I can remember. Maybe I was born with it.
born with a tattoo?
Can people be born with tattoos?
They're magical, I suppose.
I am magical.
You don't say.
Yeah, I can do magic.
What kind of magic can you do?
I can put things to sleep. I can spray colors. I can make lights. I can make wind. I can move dirt around. I can make something really cold. And I can charm people.
You sure you're
But I
not?
don't need magic to do that.
No, you don't. So you sure you're not from around here?
Well, I mean, do my ears look like I am?
Do my ears?
Are you from around here?
No.
Exactly.
Fair enough. And he'll start kind of like whipping up some like spice packs or something he's making since everybody else went off to go hunting.
And rude.
And we could sift a little bit of time. Sanisa, are you done brooding?
Yes, I'll be done brooding.
Okay.
I'll walk over to the fire where Chris and Suyin are.
So, Suyin, do you know any crows around here?
I'm not really a bird person.
Oh,
kinda
I had a friend
creep me
who's a
out.
crow, and I would like to see my crow friend at some point.
I mean, you could smoke more.
I don't think that will be productive.
I'm not going anywhere. Are you going anywhere?
I would like to keep enough of a head upon my shoulders to be able to tend to this fire.
That's fair. That's fair. What about you? He kind of looks over to Sinisa.
How long are you planning on letting us just kind of squat here?
As long as you're not trying to take my heart. As long as you need to, I guess.
I'm not trying to take nobody's heart.
Literally or metaphorically?
Right now, literally.
Literally.
Okay.
Don't
I think I can do
don't
that.
I don't recommend
I mean,
it.
I don't metaphysically or any other way want to take your heart, actually, but, just trying to figure some things out.
I'm just saying sometimes some things happen.
So in my little vision quest thing, we were told to go, or I was told to go north. Did you get a direction, Chris?
No, it was more about the fig thing.
Yeah, I got that too. Apparently, maybe I should just wait for the others to get back. I don't want to say all this again. Still stupid.
And as you say that, Renta and Audrey, go ahead and roll me survival checks. Let's see if you can find something to hunt.
Ooh.
16.
Okay.
16 also.
Ooh,
Hey,
hey,
twinsies.
all right. Yeah,
I rolled a 19. Can I dig up some edible bugs?
during your time with Suyin, yes, you can. So yeah, you two are able to find whether you want small critters or a deer. There's all sorts of creatures that you're able to hunt.
Probably replacing the elk way. Someone ate.
I was gonna say that we probably got the elk and maybe a few squirrels that
Oh my
Audrey
God.
looks very sad about capturing.
God, I was gonna say rabbits. Oh my god. Straight savage. We already have a whole elk.
Wow.
And he refuses to carry the squirrels. He's carrying the elk though.
I love that it means nothing to me. That you
Right.
like it was squirrels. I'm just like, a squirrels? That's a little bit more. Okay, you want squirrel? That's 6 squirrels. It's just like quick. I just even throw a rock at it to get him.
Yeah,
A bolt.
it's fine. Yeah, so you all returned as Sinisa's like, well, I'm just gonna wait for everybody to come back so I don't have to repeat myself.
I'm holding an elk over my shoulders at my 7'8" height.
It's okay, guys. I got bugs.
I have like 4 squirrels that I've already cut open so they could start draining on the walk back.
Audrey looks almost green at this.
They're already dead. Why are you? I'm so confused. You're literally walking around with an elk as a scarf. And you're looking at me appalled that I'm holding squirrels that you told me to get. I'm just like, just draining them as we go. Just.
He doesn't explain it.
Go ahead and put the elk over there. I'll start cutting it up, cleaning it up.
All right. He puts down the elk, and then he's gonna actually go to the door and start slowly using Druidcraft to cause the door to start growing back into the wall, so it like refixes itself, because
Very
that was
nice.
an accident, and he feels guilty about that one too.
I honestly thought you were gonna say, I'm gonna go over there and then I'm just gonna throw up.
I mean, valid, but if you can try and do it first, it'll keep him distracted.
Totally fair.
I'm going to go over to Sanisa and I'm gonna throw a hand. I won't throw them at you because they are bleeding. I'll hand 2 of the squirrels to you because I think you'll be the faster one to do so, and then I'll also start skinning them.
I'll immediately start with that.
And Chris is just mashing up the bugs into a paste, mixing in some spices and some water and turning it into like a weird sauce thing.
It's good protein sauce.
Yep.
Yum.
It'll keep you going.
So, Sinisa, are you relaying all the information that you had obtained from your dream to the others?
Yeah, as I'm skinning these squirrels, I will start relaying the information about the plague going north and how I don't believe we have to do anything with the werebear. It's all about going towards this tree. And
The Dryad did seem like a bit shifty. Did not trust her. Not really for a second.
I mean, I trusted her for a second. She touched my forehead and gave me some memories and gave me some help. I didn't think not to trust her, but
She's good at that, he says as he's like hacking away.
But
Wait. Weren't we told by the old one that we shouldn't do the mushrooms?
she said don't eat the mushrooms that the tree people eat because they like to be naked.
Oh, I guess he is also naked.
He's a little naked.
Are you a tree person?
No.
Are there 3 people?
Around here, yeah, absolutely.
Do they eat mushrooms and are they naked?
Well, I mean, you saw Briaris.
Is that really considered naked though? She's a tree.
She didn't put on any typical clothing like you or I would.
True.
Wait,
Oh.
but I got a question.
Yeah.
You said earlier that the tree lady, Briere or whatever, she was allowing the void people to bring in the plague. So shouldn't we try and stop the void people in order to stop the plague?
Are they north?
Yeah. I know they're up a bit of ways. I saw an encampment with what do you call it? It's kind of like in a swamplands. It's known as the Atmosphere.
Well, do you have any other friends here in the forest?
It's just me.
Do you know of any big settlements of like civilized people?
Or uncivilized people?
Or uncivilized, that's true.
Well, there's lots of those.
How about this? People who can listen to reason.
Well, I was gonna suggest the elves, but that takes them off the list. There's a couple encampments to the north and to the west. You could probably
Are there
find
any magic
some.
kingdoms?
Well, there's a couple of magic kingdoms, but good luck trying to find them. A lot of times those type of kingdoms I've never seen them myself, but I've certainly heard about them. The Feywild masks them, moves them, changes them.
Oh, I'm sorry I interrupted you before. Keep going.
The reason I'm asking is because, well, if we're saving the world, I don't know that we can do it by ourselves. Maybe we're supposed to be uniting people of the Feywild, bringing them together to face whatever this plague is.
I don't think that you can unite the Feywild.
Why not?
Well, the elves.
The Feywild all lives in this place. They all seek balance, and the plague is, if I know anything about nature, nature always seeks balance. And if the plague is throwing this place out of whack, then the people of the Feywild have to stand up for it
But
and
people
fight
do
it
not.
back.
People do not care about balance. People
No.
care about power.
Yes.
They care about position. if they even saw in moments where they thought this plague would be advantageous to them, they would use it for their own means. You
I
come
don't,
from a very noble place, Audrey. But
but
people
I
are
don't.
kind.
I live in a forest with my family.
You
mean,
lived in a
There are
forest.
a lot of people that like to help other people.
I don't agree with you. I think that the world is a balanced place, and that for every good there is bad, and for every bad there is good. And if this thing is a horrible, horrible evil, then it needs really, really good to go against it.
Then you are the good that will go against it. You are the balance.
But
Well,
I'm just one person. We need more than that.
You do not need an army to defeat a person.
I don't think this is a person.
I'm gonna agree with him. I don't think it's a person. Actually,
Delka refused to even say the creature's name.
Atora did as well, but she did say that the creature we're actually fighting is trapped within that tree. She said her and her siblings put chains magically on this being. We can't let him escape. So, as noble as your idea is, I think our goal is to actually get to that tree, make sure that those chains stay intact.
But you said yourself that we have to start by fighting back the plague. What better way to do that than...
I didn't say that. I said we got to follow the plague, and the plague will lead us to the tree north. We have to go north. I mean, yes, I would love to save the forest and everything, but I don't know if that's necessarily what we should be doing if we got to get to that tree. Everybody kept saying time is of the essence, so
You have to cut off the head before you can fix the problem. Sometimes, Audrey.
can I just like skewer these squirrels and lay them over the fire now?
Yes.
Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, this entire time we're just
Oh, yeah.
skinny
Yeah,
and
you're all
picking
just...
out the innards.
Yep.
And
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, but... And he closes his eyes. Can he, like, feel the world around him? Like, the Feywild's alive in a different way than a normal forest, right?
Yeah, incredibly so. Go ahead and roll me a nature check. I'm going to kind of do this like you would, like, commune with nature, but not so much actual commune with nature. Just close to it.
That is a 19 plus 2, so
Ooh,
21.
All right. So, yeah, as you're frustrated that you think you know what is right and what is wrong, and that it requires more help. But is it because you feel small and incapable? Is it your own self-doubt that is making you want to seek help? And as you kind of let those questions play through your head, and you close your eyes and you're listening to the sounds of the forest, blocking out the sounds of creatures being skinned and cooked. You hear the birds, you hear the leaves shifting around. You can smell all the different smells that the forest has to offer. And then your senses are hit with just this decay. Like, everything smells like it should, if not even more accentuated here. It's the Feywild, after all. But there is this lingering scent of decay, of death. And it is a stench that you will not be able to clear from your head. Things are dying here. There is... Oh, it's so hard to explain this if you have not worked in the medical field. Gangrene has an odor to it that you will never, ever forget. And You might be able to hide it underneath bandages. You might be able to dress it up and try to treat it, but ultimately, it is dead. It is dying. It is necrotic. And you can smell this.
She's dying. This place is dying, and it's not just the beginnings of a corruption. It's everywhere.
I assume that is why it is so dire.
Well, we got to get to the tree.
And I think he just sits down and just like that smell still just present.
Look, it's really not my business. But I know I've encountered a thing or two here that's definitely showing signs that there's something that shouldn't be growing, and Briaris was the one that allowed it to start seeping into these woods. I don't know how bad it is in other places. I can imagine far worse or untouched. But what I do know is that there is a pretty big source of this black plague. If you head up north to the Ettensphere, again, it's kind of a swamplands area. I've seen some void sages out there, and I can guarantee you they're what's doing this. I don't know why. Really don't care to know why. But I'd like to not see my home taken down. I love this place. These woods.
Why don't you care?
It's not my place.
But it is. This is your home.
Homes can be rebuilt.
But you can't. You're as much a part of this place as this place is a part of you. If the corruption spreads here, it won't just kill your home, it'll kill you too.
I think you forget that I'm cursed. Death's not a terrible option either.
Your curse isn't really a curse. It's a different form of a gift that you just don't understand. This is a curse. This is a plague. You said it yourself, there are benefits to your curse. This thing comes with no benefits. It comes with death and only death. You think that your life's worth nothing, but look at what you've done for us. You've given our memories back. You've given us a path to act on. And you want to stand out here and have a pity party for yourself because you're cursed.
I show you kindness because you are young and considerably weaker than I. And a long time ago, I used to uphold myself to a moral compass like yourself. But there are things in these woods and in the Feywild that you couldn't even begin to imagine. Sights, scents, sounds, creatures. Once you encounter things like that, and you realize day after day after day that your life is meaningless. Doesn't matter what you do, you're gonna die. And when you die, you go back to the earth, and you let the earth take your body, and it gives to something else.
You know what you do before you die in this world? You plant seeds in a garden. Something that will grow after you die. Something that will create something. Whether you like it or not, you make a difference in the world.
Your life is a rock that's thrown into a pond. The ripples that you create, you decide what you do with them. Now you might be right. I might see horrible, horrible things out there. But I'm gonna keep thinking that there's good in this world because I know that there has to be. Because I've seen it. I've seen the look on my sister's faces, I've seen the look on my mom's faces. So you can stay here, you can have your pity party, you can tell me about how I'm young and how I don't know what's going to happen in this world, and that's fine. That's fine and good, but because at the end of the day, the only person you have to live with is you. Now, whether you cry yourself to sleep at night in your own bedroom or you stand up for yourself, that's up to you. So don't come at me telling me that, oh, my heart will break just like yours will. Because you don't know me. You don't know who I am, and you don't know what I believe in. And I think that he backs off to the far end of the camp.
And I think Suyin just kind of quiets up and goes to cooking some of the food for everybody. And just looking at the time, unless somebody else has anything they want to do or discuss real quick, could probably call it. All right. Then we'll call it there. Ooh, nice little hero speech there, my friend. Love it. Very, very well done. Congrats to you all. You have been touched by your gods, and you now have some extra magical powers, and maybe then some, but you'll learn about that stuff later in the next episode. Thank you all, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight on The Grove, where we met a D&D 5e game set in the world of Greyhawk in the Feywild, based off of Florence and the Machine songs. Tonight's episode was the continuation and the finale of Howl. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll do a quick little round robin, let everybody know who you are, where they can find you, what you're doing this week. If you have any other projects or shows to plug, please feel free to do so now. Kika, let's start with you.
Hey, I'm Kika. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/KikaVO and on Patreon at patreon.com/baking, where I post baking recipes that I made up. I'm not actually doing any shows this week because things are on break right now.
That's fair. That is fair. Well, we love when you do things. So when you start back up, just let us know. Always a pleasure to have you, though. Tara, what's up?
Hi, I'm Tara. You can find me on Twitter at ShineDust. That's with the YN. And here on Mondays, because that's all that I do.
And I'm glad you do it. Thank you. It's always a pleasure getting to actually play in a game with you. For some of you, I'm going to brag every time because I love doing it. That's my wife, guys. Isn't she great? I love her. PB, what's up? Thanks for coming out tonight.
Hi, I'm PB from PB Plays Inside. Thank you for having me. I do variety streaming on my channel at PB Plays Inside on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays at approximately 6 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Wow, words. Depending on how I'm feeling on that day. And on Mondays I am here on this awesome show with all of this amazing cast. On Friday, this Friday is the finale of our show in Castle Falconscene. Do we have a name for that show? Who knows? But it's played in Castle Falconscene, and we have finally found the shapeshifter and have dealt with him. Now we just have to deal with the consequences of all of our actions over the past 2 days that have been this season, and see where our future takes us, as we have announced that we're doing a season 2 on the same day over on the Wandering DMs channel at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that's a lot of fun. And on Saturdays, bi-weekly, which is bi-weekly, the every other week bi-weekly, not the every 2 times a week, because English. I am over on the Experience Points channel at noon Central Standard Time playing some Starfinder. I think we're pretty much on par with this show. I think we're on our 3rd episode this week, and that's fun. That's an all LGBTQ plus cast also, and it is a lot of fun. We are really Izady, and I look forward to it. I am playing a small little Isoki, which is a little rat race, and she is a badass whose name Yi. Her name is Yi. Because I have a lot of things. I have aspirations with that name. I have a lot of aspirations.
That's so awesome. Starfinder's like one of my favorite games, so I'm gonna definitely have to catch up on the VODs for that one. Who's your DM? Who's DMing that one?
Kenny or
Oh,
Punter Drone.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I love Kenny. Hi, Kenny. We love you. Well, you certainly seem super busy. Very excited though. I'm definitely gonna have to go watch the VODs on that one. Love me some Starfinder, and they're really Experience Points. Obviously knows their Starfinder stuff. So, well, thanks for playing with us today, PB. And hello, Russ. Welcome back. No more a wolf.
I am free from this wolf form. Hi, I'm Russ. You can find me on Twitter at PrismPalsDM. I'm the Dungeon Master for Prism Pals, an all queer family-friendly podcast that comes out every Tuesday. Last week, we actually did a Pride Week event where we released 7 episodes, 1 for each day of the week. And we also did some episodes in cooperation with Rise of the Demigods and Domino Theory, which some of the people in this show are also in. So you can check us out there. We'll be posting a new episode for our main plot next week. So yeah, that's it for me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, Pride Week was super fantastic. I'm still getting through. I think I have 3 more to watch, including the Domino. I haven't listened to it yet.
It's so good.
Is it? Is it? Okay.
It's so good.
Just saying, it's like the best. Anyways, thanks everybody for coming to hang out. My name is Nomadic. I DM here, obviously, every Monday night, and I'm part of a whole bunch of other shows. I am in Domino Theory, which is a queer podcast with both Russ and Kika. What else do I do? Wednesdays, I'm in 2 places at once. You can catch me over on Encounter Roleplay, where I run a Tales from the Loop game that's actually set in 1992, which has kind of taken a really dark turn. It's fun. If you like drama, come hang out. I'm also part of the Rise of the Demigods podcast, which equally streams on Wednesdays. So if you want another all LGBTQI plus group of people doing lots of LGBT type things with their bad selves, come check that out over on the Gods Fall channel or at demigodsfall.com. Thursdays, actually this Thursday is the finale of Men of Letters, which is a diesel punk eldritch horror cipher game on Unmade Gaming's channel. It's super fun, and we have a fantastic cast over there. And it's the finale of season 1. And then Friday, though, is really, really special. So I hope you all come and hang out with us. I'm going to be playing a charity game over on Bag O' Snail's channel, a.k.a. My Favorite Son. Unfortunately, their dog, Nova, is very, very ill. and the medical bills to help cover the costs from having to go to the vet and for future, I think possibly surgery and stuff like that. He needs some help, so a whole bunch of us are getting together. We're going to be playing a crazy game Friday night on his channel to try to raise the rest of the money needed to cover those medical bills. So definitely come and hang out. If you can't hang out, try to toss a couple dollars into the hat. Let's save Nova. We love Nova. She's cute little dog. But that is it for tonight. Big shout out and thank you to all of the patrons and Twitch subscribers here over on the Greyhawk channel. Again, without your support, we wouldn't be able to run shows like this all the time. And we love you all very much. Hope you all have a fantastic evening, and we will see you back in the Grove next week. Bye, everybody. My button isn't working, so just keep waving. Y'all good.